Good afternoon everyone. Welcome to our pitching workshop presented by ECell IGTC.
So in that case, we as a company or we as presenting an idea in front of you to invest in our idea, which is somewhat creative and having multiple applications in different fields. So we have done a market study of that first, like why did we choose that basic idea of entering into this field. So what we have done is we have found out that India is one of the fourth largest economy, and the people here are having the purchasing power to purchase these things. And coming on to the GDP, we know that there is a GDP of 8.5% and expected to grow in the coming years. So, and this part, the Indian story, the basic Indian story will be explained by me.
If you can look at the Indian economy, you can see that we have many transparency and accountability in terms of our laws. So we have Information Technology Act as well as 100% FDI permitted in most of the sectors. Also, if you can see the leaders speak, we came to India for cost, stayed for quality, and are now investing for innovation. As well as by 2032, India will be among the top 3 largest economies in the world. If you can see the electronic system design and manufacturing sector, it's a priority sector for India because 2009 we had a $45 billion industry. In the current year it's $125 billion, and by 2020 it is supposed to grow by 22%. That is, it will become a $400 billion industry. Now there are favorable policy frameworks as well. The key objectives, as I mentioned before, it is a $400 billion industry by 20, turn out to be a $400 billion industry by 2020. So like this involves an investment of 100 billion USD. And apart from that, there is an increase in export in ESDM sector. Now, this is how the government procures the electronics. If you can see, we have a broadband to over 6 lakh villages. Then we have a national e-governance program spanning central ministries and all state governments. Again, we have national mission to provide computers to over 1 lakh schools. And there is a rollout of 3G, WiMAX and 4G as well. If you can see a strong semiconductor design ecosystem, there are nearly 2,000 chips designed each year in our country. And all the global top 10 fabulous design companies have India operations.
Mr. Saurabh, can you explain what will be the market segment?
Yes ma'am, actually we are right now focusing on the 6% electronic market segment as you have seen in the pie chart. And within the electronic segment we are focusing on the semiconductor part of it, which is the heart of electronic segment industry.
Guys, as Mrs. Rashmi told us, to put it in a nutshell, how you can pitch your ideas to investors, mentors, or to your even colleagues, I'll explain you in a brief concept, which is known as a golden circle theory. It works very well with the marketing team.
About how to read minds. We're going to talk about how to create the connections that matter and how to get inside the head of the investors, the people that can say yes, by placing your attention where it really matters. You see, in life, we get what we expect. So where we put our focus is where we find our results. So how do you adjust your focus in your elevator pitch? Let me share that with you. You know, typically when people begin their elevator pitch, they start off with I, me, my. They talk about their accomplishments or the features and benefits of the software or the app or the medical device or whatever it is that's their magic that they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? This is called first person, right? First person, you remember from high school English class when you read The Tale of the White Whale by Herman Melville, Moby Dick? And the first 3 words of that very famous novel start off with these 3 words, call me Ishmael. First person, right? And it's so typical when we start off our elevator pitch, we start off in first person. We start off with our name, rank, and serial number. Hi, my name's Tom. I'm a CPA. Help people to save money on their taxes. Super. Don't start off with your name, rank, and serial number. Don't start off talking in third person. Don't start off talking in third person. He, she, it. You know, and by the way, I just said 3 words. I don't want you to think that I violated ACU's policy. 3 words. He, she, it. We talk in third person about our company's capabilities, right? But there's a focus that's more important than that. Ready? Here's when your story gets interesting. When you make the second person first. The second person first. What is second person? You. If you've got features, benefits, advantages, accomplishments, if you can't phrase that story in terms of what you can do with, through, and for others, you're making a mistake. Otherwise, you're just reading from your resume, or you might as well just hand someone a brochure or refer them to your website. You've got to make the second person first. Have you ever noticed? ... Remember, the second person is first. So have you ever noticed? You know how. I'll never forget when, and doesn't it seem like? If you want to create a connection and frame the conversation, start with one of these 4 framers. Let me give you an example. You know how Warren Buffett wrote that letter in the New York Times where he talks about how he pays less in an effective tax rate than any of his employees? Well, that's what I do. My name's Chris, and I'm a CPA, and I help my clients, they're high net worth individuals that live in West Texas, to make sure that they never pay more than 20% as an effective tax rate on their returns. Now, I'm not sure if I can do the same for you, but if you're interested to learn more, let me give you my business card. Let's connect on LinkedIn. Let's go have coffee, and let's talk about how I can make sure you maximize your value when it comes time to deal with Uncle Sam next year. Have you ever noticed, and it's a universal truth that people have noticed, and even if you didn't see that letter that Warren Buffett wrote to the New York Times, everybody knows that higher net worth individuals typically find ways to make the tax code work to their advantage. Compare that to, hi, my name's Chris, I live in Sweetwater, I'm a CPA, and I help people save money on their taxes. Which one makes you say, tell me more? Which one makes you go for the 5-hour energy drink just so you can make it through the next 2 minutes? Think about it.